England and West Indies will stay at Manchester to play the final test in the Wisden Trophy. England lost the first test at Southampton but came back well to win the second test, with the series headed to a decider. The odds are in favour of England to win the series. We have two key reasons for that. England have been in this situation and come out successful a lot more times than any other team. Since 2000, England have won 7 test series after trailing 1-0, and in the same period they have a 60% win rate when it comes to series deciders such as this one. So our analysts call that you pick 6 or 7 English players in your 11. Our analysts also ask you to back the top order at Old Trafford. The last 4 test series at this venue saw top order batsmen scoring big hundreds. Sibley in the last test, Smith's 211 in the 2019 Ashes, Root's career best score of 254 against Pakistan in 2016. So top order batsmen are a good choice for this test. Another good choice is to pick English bowlers who bowl stump to stump. Let's start with that and pick our core team. Our first pick is Stuart Broad. In this series, there has been a noticeable pattern of Windies batsmen getting out bowled and LBW. They have been found wanting against deliveries that come into the batsmen. Stuart Broad is attacking the stumps a lot more. 5 of the 6 wickets taken by Broad in the second test were bowled and LBW. Only one other time in his career has he picked more wickets through bowled and LBW. This was in the test match in the 2013 Ashes against Australia. So Stuart Broad since 2019 is bowling fuller and is getting more bowled and LBW decisions his way. So why would Broad's change of approach matter in this decider? Because most of the Windies batsmen have been out bowled and LBW. 10 of the possible 14 wickets in the Windies top 7 were out bowled and LBW in the second test. The Windies top 5 batsmen, Brathwaite, Campbell, Hope, Brooks, Chase, all of them have been out more than 2 times bowled and LBW in this series. Our second pick of the core 6 is Ben Stokes. Ben Stokes' bowling is very much underrated. It has been reaping a lot of rewards for England recently. He has dismissed the informed West Indies batsmen Brathwaite and Blackwood twice in this series. If Broad is keeping it full and on the stumps, it's Stokes' ability to bowl bouncers that has got him a lot of wickets. Though England have 2 pacers in Archer and Wood who can bowl short balls at express pace, Stokes has the ability of bowling it at the right line around the wicket, which can trouble a few batsmen to control their shots. 12 of Stokes' 17 wickets in 2020 have been taken by back of length or short deliveries in test matches. If you remember right, the last time the Windies toured England, the series was level 1-1 just like it is now. Ben Stokes stepped up in the decider and was awarded the player of the match for his 6 for 22 with the ball and 60 runs with the bat. Will history repeat itself? So Ben Stokes is our second choice. Our third pick is Roston Chase. Only 2 visiting spinners have taken a fifer at England in tests since 2017. We expect Chase to contribute with both bat and ball. England being his favourite opposition and him being the only spinner in the side, we would expect him to play a big part in the final test match, considering that they're playing the same ground and conditions are expected to be spin friendly in the last few days. Our third pick amongst the core 6 is Jason Holder. Last test was probably the first time since 2018 that Holder has had 0 impact with both bat and ball. He picked 1 wicket and scored cumulative of 37 runs. Holder is likely to cause the damage when the wicket is fresh in the first 2-3 days. As the wicket tears down, maybe he's not able to get the same kind of pace and bounce from the wicket, so he's not able to pick wickets. While bowling, Holder averaged the best in second and third day of the test match, 18.3, and his average worsens to 44.9 when bowling in day 4 and day 5. That's our 3 picks from the top 10 wicket takers chart this series. Let's head on to the 3 more picks of our core 6. We have some familiar names that we just picked in the top 10 bowling chart in the top 10 run getters too. Ben Stokes is 67 runs short of reaching 1000 runs against West Indies. That's nearly 1/4 of the career runs that he scored against a single team. His average is above 50 against the Windies, so we expect in all possibility for him to pick wickets and score runs. Harsha Bhogle though reckons that he'd be helpful elsewhere. The other player who finds himself in the top 10 run getters chart this series is Roston Chase. His performance has been on the rise over the last few years. The last time he toured England in 2017, he had 80 runs with an average of 13.3. Now he has 141 runs, an average of 35.3. Now to our 4th pick amongst the core 6. Craig Brathwaite. Brathwaite has the best average for a visiting opener at England since 2017. He has the most 50 plus scores too. He scored 65 and 75 in the first innings of the last 2 tests and looked comfortable against England quicks. Brathwaite in his last England tour recorded a century and is due to score 1 in the current series. The one player who's missing from both the top wicket takers and the top run getters list and forms an important part of our core team is Joe Root. He averages 71 at this venue, the highest for him at any English venue. His career best of 254 came at this venue in 2016 against Pakistan. He won his first Test series as full-time captain at this venue. It was a series against South Africa in 2017. Joe Root is leading the run scorer in Tests since 2018. He averages 53 in Tests against West Indies and has hit a century in each of the series against them. He is yet to score a century against them this series. But he's had good starts in all of his last 5 Test matches, but he hasn't converted them to big scores. So maybe there is a century for the English captain in the decider at Manchester. So these are 6 of our core players. You can choose the next 5 depending on the combination you like. But we would recommend that you limit yourself to 2 West Indian batsmen and only 1 of their fast bowlers. So among the wicket keepers between Buttler and Dowrich, 2 wicket keepers who batted 7, who both scored roughly the same and caught the same number of catches this Test series, we think that Buttler would be the better choice. Dowrich is coming off a duck of both innings, and what was more worrying was the manner of his dismissals. He was out LBW in both innings to deliveries that were coming into the batsman. Among the 2 English openers, Sibley is a better choice based on his performance this series. Also, he is better suited to handle both pace and spin. His partner Burns was out to spin twice in 3 innings. The West Indies might even field an extra spinner in Cornwall, so we think Sibley would be a better choice. Blackwood and Brooks both have been consistent in this Test series, but Blackwood recently has scored only in the second inning. Brooks has adapted to playing in both innings, so we picked the more consistent Shamar Brooks. Shannon Gabriel and Kemar Roach have had contrasting fortunes this Test series. Roach picked 4 wickets at this venue in the second Test, while Gabriel picked 0. Our analysts think that Roach was unlucky in both Test matches. He could have ended up with a few more wickets in the second Test. Gabriel, though, looked out of touch in the last Test and at times he looked fatigued. So we go with Kemar Roach. The last choice we have is of Bess and Cornwall. Cornwall is just 2 tests old, but he has proved his ability as a match winner for the Windies. He was the player of the match in his last Test against Afghanistan for recording a 10-wicket haul in the match. He uses his height to good effect and gets extra bounce from the wicket, a quality which makes him an X-factor for Windies in this Test. Cornwall is no mug with the bat and could be handy in both departments. Bess, on the other hand, has been really impressive so far in this series and is also expected to play the 3rd Test. His average might not suggest his impact this series, but he is someone who has the ability to rattle the opposition when the pitch wears out. Another impressive thing about his bowling is he can get wickets even when there is no assistance for spinners because of his ability to make the batsman drive by bowling that line and length. So our research shows that Dominic Bess is the better choice. It is guaranteed that the Windies will bat twice in this Test because of their inability to put up a big score. Hence, we recommend picking Bess over Cornwall. So here's our final 11. We would pick Broad as captain and Stokes as vice captain. Root also could be a good choice as captain, but for now we go with Broad and Stokes.